Good morning, everyone. Let's take a couple deep breaths as we center ourselves. Let's expand our solar plexus energy, make it as big as you in all directions. Now make it 6 feet bigger than you in all directions. There you go. Good job. How are you doing? Once you're in your bubble, you can concentrate more in your energy. You probably can concentrate more as to what's going on around you, what's going on inside of you. How is your body doing? This is the time where you give yourself permission to just focus on you. The rest of the time, we're running around, taking care of people, taking care of business, taking care of bills, taking care of whatever it is that you got going on. But these 15 minutes is just for you to you. Now make an assessment. How are you doing? How is your body doing? For some, preparations are going on for kids to get out of school. For others, kids are already out of school, and now you got to be running around with the kids for the summer break. And today is Memorial Day. Memorial in the US is all about remembering the people who have given their lives for the freedom that we have. So it's honoring and mourning the people who died for what they believed. So to those beings, thank you. Thank you. Freedom is never free. Freedom is very expensive. A lot of times we forget that. We take it for granted that what we have, that what we can do, what we can say, it's a right. It's a given right with no consequences to it. There were consequences. You can do all that. You can say all that. You can, because somebody paid a price for it. Everything and whatever choice you make now, every time you make a choice, it's time to think about how you got it, how you were able to come to having that choice. Somebody had to give up their lives for you to have that choice. That choice can even be against what they fought. Still your choice. Free choice is what they fought for. Freedom of choice, freedom of speech. freedom to bear arms. That's why nobody says anything or nobody shoots anything with whatever you choose. To me, it is a dishonor to see the American flag or any flag on the floor being trampled over. But if you talk to a veteran, if you talk to a soldier, if you talk to somebody in the military, they'll tell you, no, it's their choice. That's why I fought, for them to have a choice. Hmm. That's what choosing. That's what they died for you to choose. And no, that's why I said nobody can judge you. Nobody should judge you. But we all behave, we all act according to what we believe. So, as we create our future in this new golden era, keep that in mind. What you choose to do doesn't mean others have to follow. They only follow if they choose the same. And if they do or they don't, it's their prerogative. There's no need to force anybody to follow or to do something. Their choice. It hurts sometimes when people take actions that you would be against what you do, but still their choice. And we have to let them choose. The word is not having an open mind. No. It's more like having a tolerance for others' actions when those actions do not line up with what you would do. As long as they're not hurting anyone, you got to tolerate their actions. Who's to say that maybe their actions are better in the long run? So let's go ahead and expand everybody's tolerance. So the little bitty tiny things that others do don't annoy you so much. Because when we see so much stupidity going on, our cup gets full of it. And then the last one, we just explode because our tolerance has exceeded. The stupidity has exceeded our tolerance. So expand your tolerance. And be like a veteran, be like a soldier, be like a military personnel. They get that they have to allow others to choose. That's why they fight for freedom of choice in everything. Build a community, build a future where we continue to have freedom of choice in everything. And always make sure if someone's freedom of choice is not being respected, and they are too weak to claim it, you might have to help them. The community might have to stand behind them. Hopefully, this will be very few and far in between. But let's always be vigilant that we continue to have freedom of choice in everything for everyone. That's how we learn, by trying things. Does this work? Let's try it. Does that work? Let's try it. I know sometimes you want to give your 2 cents, and you do, but they don't listen, and they still do it their way. That's when you got to back off and let them do, because they got freedom of choice. They might learn a new way to make that Ouija. They might teach you something. Or they might learn that there's no way of that will be successful and come back and ask you for questions. Whichever way it goes is their choice. And we have to just be tolerant. Once again, thank you to the fallen military members from all wars. Thank you. Thank you for maintaining this dream of having freedom of choice. Thank you. And with that, let's take a couple deep breaths as we come back to the present. And when you're ready, rub your hands together, rub your face, and open your eyes.